Prior to the construction of my A2 indie music video Undercover Martin, I researched into a range of different indie/indie rock music videos in order to analyse the typical conventions and then decide how I can incorporate these into my own music video, whether or not I would challenge or use these typical conventions. Throughout my research I studied a variety of music videos such as the 1975 Robbers, Bombay Bicycle Club, Always Like This and Imagine Dragons Gold. When analysing these music videos, I started studying the use of the mise-en-scène within each music video. The music video for Robbers follows a narrative-based structure in which it has a distinctive storyline. I found that the mise-en-scène used in this video helped to tell the story more effectively. One aspect I looked at was the costume and makeup. The characters in Robbers are wearing baggy shirts, ripped jeans and boots along with messy/long hair. The appearance that the band members and characters portray demonstrate a fairly laid-back and grunge style, which emphasise the genre of the music video. The basic and dull clothing style also helped to tell the story by conveying the reckless nature of the video. I also took inspiration from the music video Always Like This in terms of the costume, as the band members are also showing a laid-back and vintage style by wearing printed t-shirts and flannel shirts, as well as styling their hair in a simplistic and messy manner. I incorporated this laid-back yet unique style into my own band's costume in my music video to connote the typical conventions of the costume within the indie genre. I achieved this by dressing my band in vintage and patterned shirts, jeans, as well as a range of simplistic and messy hairstyles styled on each band member as taken inspiration from both music videos. I found that this helped me to capture the indie genre more effectively. However, for the costume of the couple in my music video, I decided to challenge the typical conventions of costume in indie music videos. However, this was deliberate as I wanted the couple to be perceived as an ordinary couple, hence the male wearing a basic grey hoodie and jeans and the female wearing a red coat and jeans. I felt that the costume of the two characters helped to capture the setting of the music video more effectively, as it is set during an ordinary day. Therefore, the ordinary looking couple contrasted well with this. I also found that by doing this made the dramatic crash at the end seem more of a surprise, as you wouldn't expect this from a standard couple. However, I did decide to dress the couple in edgy and vintage clothing, enhancing a rebellious couple from the beginning. This sort of behaviour revealed at the end would be more expected. Another aspect of the mise-en-scène used in Robbers was the variety of both high and low-key lighting used to portray the range of emotions being expressed. Throughout the distressing and upsetting parts of the story, there is use of low-key lighting as the couple are unhappy with their relationship. Therefore, the dull and dark lighting connotes more about how the characters feel. However, this contrasts with the lighting that is shown at the beginning of the video, where the couple are enjoying themselves. The scenes feature a lot of natural lighting and high-key lighting to emphasise their positive relationship and thus having a greater impact on the audience as they watch the video, as they get a wider idea about how the characters are feeling. In the making of my music video, I took inspiration from their specific use of lighting depending on the emotion of the characters. Due to my music video also including a storyline based on a dysfunctional couple, I was able to demonstrate these variations of lighting to help connote what emotion the characters were expressing, which impacted the overall nature of the video. For example, at the beginning I portrayed the couple sharing a positive relationship in which I used natural and bright lighting to emphasise this. In terms of lighting, the music video Gold also used interesting lighting such as strobe lighting and disco lights. As this music video is purely performance-based, the use of the artificial lighting allowed the music video to look more exciting due to the dramatic flashes of bright colour having a greater impact on the performance. I decided to incorporate this into my own performance elements by using disco lights and strobe lighting whilst the band were performing the song, giving these scenes more of a live performance effect. This also allowed my music video to look much more interesting as I had elements of both natural lighting as well as artificial lighting, making my audience feel more engrossed in the video. I find that the props featured in my music video definitely fit with the typical props that you would expect to see in other indie music videos based on my research. As my music video was based around a rebellious narrative, I decided to feature props such as alcohol and a car for the narrative-based elements, and for the performance-based elements I made sure the band were using musical instruments as the props. This was influenced by my research into the music videos I analysed. For my narrative, I took inspiration from Robbers by basing my storyline on a rebellious couple. I discovered that indie rock music videos that have a narrative within them, as such, are usually based around sensitive or risky subjects. For example, in Robbers, it is based around a dysfunctional couple, and to help demonstrate this, the props used were drugs, alcohol, and weapons, which I found really enhanced the reckless nature of the video. As my music video follows a narrative, I also used similar props such as a bottle of alcohol for the characters to drink. I also used a car as another major prop in which the couple drove in whilst under the influence of alcohol. I found that this created a feeling of apprehension, enhancing the reckless nature of the video more effectively. For the performance-based music videos that I researched, such as Gold and Always Like This, the props that are featured in these music videos are the musical instruments. This is due to the purpose of the video being based on the band performing the song, as if it was a live performance. The sound is usually diegetic sound in performance-based music videos. I found that instruments were used in the majority of indie music videos that follow a performance-based structure, and due to my video being performance-based as well as a narrative-based, I ensured that my band used a range of instruments when performing the song, as this helped to enhance the talent of the band. The sound was also another element that I analysed when researching into the genre before the making of my final music video. From my research into the indie genre and analysis of different music videos, I gathered that the majority of indie songs have a much more slower paced verse compared to the chorus, as it has much more of an upbeat tempo. From the 3 music videos I researched into, I found that both Always Like This and Gold followed a slower paced tempo throughout the verse and a faster tempo in the chorus. However, the sound in Robbers followed a fairly slow pace throughout both of the chorus and the verse, but how the artist sang the chorus had much louder volume and featured more distinctive sounds from the instruments. The song that I chose for my final music video, Undercover Martin, followed this typical convention of the sound in indie music videos, due to the chorus following a much faster pace and louder volume, compared to the sound of the verse being much more subtle and slower in pace. Within all 3 music videos, there was use of both diegetic and non-diegetic sound. For the performance-based elements of the music video, the band members were lip-syncing the lyrics of the song, as well as playing musical instruments to suggest that they were playing the song. Therefore, diegetic sound was used. This is a typical convention of indie music videos that follow a performance-based structure, as the band is the main focus rather than the storyline. However, for the narrative-based elements, the storyline was being told by the characters acting rather than singing and performing the song. Therefore, the diegetic sound from the song switched to non-diegetic. I used this convention in my music video by featuring the band playing the instruments and lip-syncing the lyrics of the song, and also having the couple acting out the narrative, which the song then changed to non-diegetic sound, which follows typical conventions of music videos from this genre. Furthermore, all 3 music videos had parallel music as it linked to the visuals on the screen. For example, in Robbers, when the lyrics describe the female's face, the camera focuses primarily on the female's facial expressions and hair appearance. I also followed this in my own music video. I made sure that the lyrics of the song linked to what was being shown on screen, such as when the lyrics say, "She spoke words of wisdom," as I ensured that the female in the music video was using dialogue. I felt that this emphasised the link between both visuals and the music more effectively, and it also links to the Andrew Goodwin's theory of music videos. The editing in my final A2 indie music video is a typical convention within my chosen genre. I researched many different indie music videos and analysed what editing techniques were used. I discovered that in many different music videos there were a range of different cut durations to fit with the tempo and sound of the song. This technique is done so that the music fits with the visuals to make it more aesthetically pleasing to view, as they both correlate together. Within my music video there are specific parts of the song, specifically the instruments, that gradually get faster, creating a very upbeat tempo and fast-paced beat, in which I edited the speed of the cuts accordingly. In order to make sure that the music was parallel to what is being presented through the visuals, I edited the speed of the cuts in time with the fast beat of the song. This technique was used in all 3 of the music videos that I analysed. In the more performance-based music videos, Always Like This and Gold, this technique worked particularly well when the band were performing, as it created more of an emphasis on the band playing the instruments so that it fit with the song. This also did apply to more narrative-based music videos as well, such as Robbers. For example, the introduction to the video features a montage of different clips to give a slight hint into the storyline. The range of these different clips all cut in time with the tempo and the beat of the song. When it came to to the making of my final A2 music video, in terms of editing, I wanted to feature a variety of different editing techniques such as split screens and overlays. To do so, I did further research into the indie and indie rock genre to influence my ideas. One other music video that I took inspiration from was Reptilia by The Strokes. This music video is primarily performance based and used a range of interesting editing techniques such as the split screen. This technique looked particularly effective when two of the guitarists were playing, as they were shown through the split screen, as it makes the video look much more cinematic and interesting for the viewers to watch. I took inspiration from this music video by featuring a split screen as well as overlays throughout it. The split screen looked particularly effective in the performance elements as well as the narrative-based elements. I used the split screen to show the two guitarists playing the guitar to make my music video look more cinematic and entertaining. These editing techniques also worked well with my narrative too. For example, I created a split screen for when the couple both slam the car door and when both characters are arguing, as this creates more of an emphasis on the angry emotions being portrayed. Another major editing technique that I created was the overlay effect. I used this in my music video to convey the mental state of the characters in particular areas. For example, when the male was getting ready to drive, there was a close-up of the speedometer which I duplicated and then decreased the opacity of both clips to create an overlay. However, I also made one of the clips slow down in motion to create an effect that suggests that he is drunk, as it created a trippy effect. I also used the overlays to give a flashback type effect. There is a mid-shot of the interior of the car with the male driving, in which I overlapped with 5 other clips that briefly show the couple from being happy to angry. I found that this helped to tell the storyline more effectively. This isn't a common editing technique that is used in indie music videos, however I still found that this technique worked well with my style of music video. I also used editing techniques in order to make the song lyrics parallel with the visuals being showed. For example, at the beginning of the song, the lyrics say, she spoke words that would melt in your hands. Therefore, during this scene, I filmed a panning shot of the female's face and also edited the shot in slow motion in order to add a dramatic effect to the footage. This technique follows the typical conventions of indie rock music videos, as the music video that I analysed, the lyrics will link with what is being shown on the screen to make the viewer understand what is happening. The last editing technique I used was the black and white filter that I used throughout the narrative-based elements of the music video. I took inspiration from the music video Always Like This, which also uses a similar retro-style filter for some parts of the video. In this music video, the sepia effect is used to look like an old DVD footage. Before I adapted this into my own music video, I also did additional research into these types of editing techniques. For example, Wonderwall by Oasis and Chocolate the 1975 both use a black and white effect within their music videos to give a rustic effect, which is a typical convention of the indie genre. I therefore used the black and white filter in my music video. However, my intentions of using black and white were to enhance the upsetting and sensitive nature of my music video, rather than give the video a deliberate old-fashioned effect. The camera work that I achieved in my final A2 music video definitely fits with the typical conventions of the indie genre. Although my camera footage was fairly simplistic, I was still able to capture the correct camera shots in order to portray the story. From the music videos I analysed, I discovered that all 3 of them also use fairly simple camera shots, but still managed to create an effective music video. For example, In Always Like This, the majority of the camera shots are stationary and range from either mid, close or long shots. However, this is still just as effective as this creates more focus on the band's performance. For the performance-based elements of my music video, I used a range of long shots and mid shots whilst keeping the camera stationary the whole time. I took inspiration from Always Like This, which portrays the band through a range of stationary shots such as long shots and mid shots. I found that by doing this, it allowed the band to be perceived as if they were playing a live performance, as all 4 band members were in the same shot. I also found that by keeping the camera stationary, I was able to achieve a panning shot of the entire band in order for the viewers to appreciate each band member playing each instrument. I also used a range of panning and tracking shots when filming the narrative elements of my music video too. As the characters are meant to be portraying a stereotypical young couple, I aimed to capture them both doing basic couple-like things. Therefore, I panned and tracked the couple for long periods of time to capture them laughing, walking and holding hands without them being aware of me filming. I found that by doing this made the acting look much more realistic and helped tell the storyline more effectively. The music video to Robbers influenced this idea as I analysed this music video due to it following a storyline based on a couple. At the beginning of this music video, the couple are presented through tracking shots and panning shots, capturing them doing couple-like things such as holding hands and laughing at each other. For the narrative-based parts of my music video, I demonstrated a range of close-up shots so that the emotion of each character were easily identified. This allowed the storyline to be followed more clearly. I took inspiration from the music video Robbers, the 1975, where the camera focuses on the characters' facial expressions and body language through close-up shots. This enhanced what emotion was being addressed in the video. For example, the camera would focus on the male and female's irate facial expressions when they begin to argue, to make it clear that the nature of the music video in this scene is angry. I adapted this into my own music video as my narrative features an angry nature to it. In addition, within my music video I also used a range of close-up shots which focused primarily on the female's face at the beginning of the music video through a close-up shot to suggest that she is the main character of the video, which also links to Andrew Goodwin's theory of focusing on the star. To help enhance this effect, I also slowed the pace of the footage down, demonstrating that she is the major character.